I mean, we know where there's mobility.
Rashard Mendenhall.
Mendenhall.
Here's what he says.
Never even played
that
in the NFL. That
guy's an animal, Doug.
He's never even played in the NFL. And who the hell is Jonathan Stewart anyway? Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore anyway. Look, once you're past those one-year wonders.
God damn it, dude. Can we go to receivers, please? This is killing my buzz.
Let's go to receivers. Okay, Larry Fitzgerald at number 1. I don't have much of a problem with that, Phil.
You were at the Super Bowl, Doug. You saw him play in person, didn't you?
I saw him play in person at the Super Bowl. What about you?
I was there. I saw that incredible touchdown he scored. I mean, he made some incredible catches in that game. This guy is a sick animal, but I still think Randy Moss, Doug, when it comes down to it, is the greatest receiver in the NFL right now.
Randy Moss is probably the best pure receiver. The problem I have with Larry Fitzgerald is he's been at the top of the heap 2 years in a row. It's hard to maintain your king of the hill status in the NFL at any position.
Especially once Kurt Warner gets knocked out.
Yeah, and he's due.
It's due to happen.
And that's due to happen, and he's due for some kind of a down season. Andre Johnson, same type of thing. Just came off his stellar career year, Andre Johnson.
Uninjured year.
What are the odds that he can repeat that, folks?
It's not going to happen in Houston, man. I can guarantee that.
It's very unlikely.
I see 3 going to 1. I see 4 going to 2. I mean, something like that.
And then you got Randy Moss there, okay? Randy Moss. I got him mixed up apparently with another tall lurch, Randy Johnson. It's Randy Moss, and he's,
he likes to blow up pigeons.
He came off 2 years ago. Remember 2 years ago, he was the top fantasy football receiver, folks, and he was seriously on fire, helping Tom Brady set a new touchdown record for the first time since Dan Marino did it in 1984. It's now the all-time touchdown record.
And he set the receiving mark for the receivers.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable. It's not believable how good he was. And Tom Brady is back this year. Remember, different quarterback. Matt Castle last year does not equal Tom Brady.
Greatest quarterback in NFL history, Tom Brady, is back this year.
I think timeout for vomit. Timeout for vomit. Okay, I'm back. Now, Calvin Johnson, I don't have much of a problem with Calvin Johnson other than another receiver coming off a career year. I know he's improving, but
terrible quarterbacks, Doug.
Who's their quarterback?
I don't know.
I don't even know who their quarterback is. Now we're getting
Johnny Cole.
Now we're getting somewhere with this number 5 guy.
Who is it?
Reggie Wayne came off 2 stellar seasons 2 and 3 years ago. He had kind of a subpar season along with Peyton Manning in that offense last year. Do you not think he's going to bounce back? Of course he is. He's like an almost guaranteed top 5 wide receiver. I don't know why you wouldn't just draft him like number 2 or number 3.
I'd rather have Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald or Randy Moss, Doug. I really would. Greg Jennings is a guy that I love Greg Jennings, but I just cannot bring myself to draft him that high. I mean, Greg Jennings with Green Bay. I mean, everybody is so freaking hot on Green Bay's offense this year, Doug.
Well,
I can tell by the grimace in your face that you love Greg Jennings. I know that you do.
I really, to be honest, I like Greg Jennings, but not at that pick because
I like guys like
he's still somewhat unproven. He's only done that stellar season 1 year. Aaron Rodgers did it for 1 year, and he may be able to do it again.
We got to see that.
But
I need to see more of that.
You have to see it.
If I'm going to draft a guy that high, I got to see it to believe it. I mean, I think here's the value of all the drafts that I've seen so far. Terrell Owens falling down as far as he's fallen.
Oh, yeah.
I love Terrell Owens where he's being drafted. I mean, I try to get him in some of my drafts. He got drafted a little bit higher than I was able to snag him up. But he is falling down way further than he should fall.
It's a lot farther, Phil.
In Buffalo, I mean, he's going to be the number 1 receiver. So either he's going to be a total stud. If not, get Lee Evans. And I guarantee you that Lee Evans will be a stud because one of those guys is going to have a tremendous year, if not both of them, and will just completely blow the Buffalo offense through the roof. I mean, they could surprise a lot of teams with their offensive production.
It could be.
And a solid running game. They have Lynch. They got Fred. I mean, they got some action there in Buffalo.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I was able to draft Terrell Owens late in the 3rd round.
Love it.
And I thought it was a very solid pick. You know, his 3-year average is still higher than any other wide receiver out there. His 3-year average. And I'm a big fan of what happened in the past can repeat itself in the future. You got Steve Smith, Roddy White. Again, Roddy White, very unproven. I don't take him that high. And there is some value to be had. Hushmanzada and Ocho Cinco, Phil.
Forget Hushmanzada. I'm going to take guys like Braylon Edwards and Anthony Gonzalez and Eddie Roll as value picks, and maybe even Lee Evans.
Yeah.
But that's about all we have time for tonight, folks. I mean, Doug, it's great to see you. We're back on the air now. We got to go. We'll see you next time on Fantasy Football Review.
We still have some time left, actually. I'm told from the studio, Phil. I'm told that we still have about 2 minutes left. So we're told by our director, Steve, who's in there, running the.
We had the 5-minute warning. Now we're getting the 2-minute warning. So we're good to go now.
It's 2-minute warning. They just blew the whistle, so we are going to wrap it up. But I think we have time. We covered Braylon Edwards as a good value receiver. I think we have just enough time.
Holmes is another guy I want to talk about for a second. Santonio Holmes is not a guy you want to depend on for a lot of points in a fantasy football league. He's going to get a few catches, pretty good yards per catch, but he's not going to get a lot of touchdowns.
No, probably not. But I feel that we're obliged during these last 2 minutes, last minute and a half here to cover the quarterbacks, Phil. And Drew Brees is going number one on consensus as the number one quarterback in most fantasy drafts, and I beg to differ.
I'll take Brady every time, and I took him in my last draft, and I'll take Brady whenever I can.
How can you go past the guy that just set the record in touchdowns 2 years ago? Now he's coming back. He had an injury last season. He's not that far off the mark. Come on.
He got injured on the first play of the game. I mean, who cares?
Yeah. And Peyton Manning, I'll take. Drew Brees, Brees is a proven quarterback. I don't have a problem with him, but you have to take Brady and Manning. Talk about proven quarterbacks. These guys are more proven. Manning and Brady are both record-setting quarterbacks.
Brady to Moss, Manning to Wayne, Brees to Colston. I mean, come on.
And then you got
here's my value.
Rodgers to Jennings. All right, so I mean
that's not bad. I mean, who cares? Castle's a guy who's injured now. I'm not even on his bandwagon at all. I think the Roethlisberger represents pretty good value, and I think that Carson.
What about Carson Palmer, Phil? He's just he's again a couple years removed from one of the top fantasy seasons. He was the number one or number two fantasy quarterback a couple years ago.
Hushmanzada is gone. I mean, you got to be a little concerned about that. David Garrard is a guy I like to see some consistency of, and Trent Edwards, as I said before, with Lee Evans and Terrell Owens, I think you can get tremendous. Exceptional value out of right now.
And I'm getting value from Matt Hasselbeck too. If you draft your number one quarterback in the 10th round, Matt Hasselbeck getting Branch and Burleson and these other guys, I don't have a problem with that. But that's all the time we have today.
So we'll sign off for tonight. We'll see you guys back next week here for another exciting example of Fantasy Football Review.
It's been good.